Members of the Plateau State House of Assembly have issued a 2-week ultimatum to the state governor, Simon Lalong, to take action on the resolutions the House has forwarded on security matters and how to restore peace. The members in a press conference said that they took this action in the interest of peace and the people of Plateau State. However, this action did not go down well with the executive, who sent policemen to seal up the State House of Assembly complex, and that was according to the reporter Abok Nuhu. But the governor has denied it through his commissioner of information. These actions seem to have pitched the ruling All Progressives Congress and the opposition People's Democratic Party in Plateau State, amongst other issues troubling the state.
Daniel Nanbol Listick is a member of the People's Democratic Party representing Lantang North Central Constituency in Plateau State House of Assembly, as well as the chairman House Committee on Health. He joins us now for more on the developments in Plateau State. Thank you for joining us today. And what's the true position of the House on the 2 weeks ultimatum and the security situation in Plateau State? Mr. Nanbol, if you can hear me, we want to find out from you what's the true position of the House on the 2 weeks ultimatum and the security situation in Plateau State.
Thank you so much.
Yes.
Thank you very much. As a state legislator representing the good people of Lantern North Central State Constituency, it could be recalled that we had some issues on the plateau that has to do with a massacre. To God be the glory, we are regaining peace, and we thank God. We need to work hard in order to sustain the peace. As somebody who has found himself as a representative, we gave some resolution, and part of the resolutions we are met. In the resolution, we said the governor has to visit some of these areas, but not all were done. So if something of this nature is there, it is part of our responsibility as good representative to ensure that it is met all. Other places were gone, like the Yelwazangam. Yes, the government visited those places. Rukuba, Irigwe, the governor visited those places. But there were killings in Trade Center Kuru. In Jos South, there were killings in a Mangu local government. There were killings in Barakan Ladi. So it will be good that the government does all those visits. So it will be good. Other places were done, other places were not done. In as much as we appreciate those places that were done, it will be good we still call that areas that were not covered should be covered for us to be good representatives. Thank you.
Now, Mr. Listick, the governor has accused the Assembly for not working on the Plateau State Livestock Transformation Program bill. What do you have to say about this?
Thank you so much. Some few weeks ago, we saw a lot of trends on the social media, electronic media, and the rest. You see, legislature is a sweet thing. Legislature is good. But there are rules and regulations governing a legislature. If the executive bill sent to a house, and then if it is an executive bill, there are procedure. The person that mediates between the executive arm of government and the legislature supposed to be the majority leader. So if the governor said there is the livestock transformation bill program with the state assembly, it is expected that the majority leader presents it before the floor of the House. So if it is presented before the floor of the House, it is part of our responsibility to debate. So it has not been, there are procedures. So the governor he knows all these procedures. That's just the truth. He was a lawmaker, he was a speaker, and then the procedure is simple. The majority, since it's an executive bill, the majority leader will present it. Yes, I have a copy of that document because of the first reading. We've consulted our people. When the time comes for us to debate, as a representative, definitely we will say the mind of the people because we are their representative. So please and please, it is left for the majority leader to do the rightful work, not for all honorable members to be accused of that nature. Thank you so much.
All right, briefly, recently protests rocked the state owing to the actions of the governor trying to seal the State House of Assembly. How true was that?
Yeah, you see, when fracas of this nature comes up, definitely different people will say what they don't know. On that day, that fateful morning, I used to go to office very early. Yeah, the place was locked quite all right, but within 2-3 hours, it was open. That was what really happened. While some carried the news that it was locked for so many days, no, it wasn't true. It's just for a few hours. But the locking of the State House of Assembly is not an issue. Definitely, from time to time, the legislature will definitely have fracas to clear with the executive. It's part of the responsibility. It is enshrined in sections 90 to section 120 of the Nigerian Constitution on how we should carry out our responsibilities. So definitely we need to do all those things. In the process of doing it, you need to know that some may say, no, they don't like it, but it's definitely on us, it's an onus on us to do the rightful thing. Thank you.
All right, we'd like to say thank you. Actually, we have one more question. Now, the state is going to be conducting local government elections, and it seems the PDP has been excluded. What's your position on this?
Yeah, this is a calculated attempt by the ruling government on the Plateau. Section 7 of the Nigerian Constitution is clear that it's an electrical democratic government that is to be put in place. If, by God's grace, that you are a ruling party, and if you want people to participate, we shouldn't kill democracy. If APC really knows that they have the day, they should not put up any calculated attempt to exclude PDP. You see, what is really happening is a big concern to some of us. We cannot rob democracy in a broad daylight of this nature. The APC worked with Plasek. You know, I have to say it as a Democrat. State Independent Electoral Commission, they are not really doing the rightful thing. I'm not talking of Plateau State alone. It cuts across the 36 states. Unless we stand our grounds very well, unless INEC takes over this responsibility, can you just imagine a democratic party like PDP with a calculated attempt on the Plateau to exclude them? We are calling on a Plasek, we are calling on the ruling party. They should do the needful. Since they say they are the ruling party, let them do the needful so that we meet on that day. Then we know who is having the grassroots. Is it PDP or APC? You cannot just use a post-electoral process. In election, there are pre-electoral process, there are during electoral process, and then there is the post-electoral process. The pre-electoral process has to do with the age. Am I a citizen of that? Am I indigent? Am I qualified? If all these qualifications, those requirements are there, you are to clear me. But you don't need to hold to post-election issues, probably by saying all political parties may have one little problem or the other. It is not the responsibility of the State Independent Electoral Commission to say your party is having problem, so we will not be. APC has no substantive ESCO for nearly a year. Is it not now that they have been conducting those things? But you will see that an independent electoral commission will say, this party does not have this party is in court, this party. No, that is post-election issue. Allow the councillors to contest, allow the chairman to contest. If they win, then you take it and say, this is the problem. And you can imagine, in the process, we are aware that Edo State didn't even conduct election together with others in 2019. Lantern North had a problem. In the problem that we have, our election is supposed to come next year. But you can see how the State Independent Electoral Commission even declared Lantern North inclusive, which was very wrong. So all these things that Plasek is doing, there are laws. There are laws.
I want to say many thanks to you, Honorable Daniel
so they should
Nanbol Listick, Plateau State, Plateau State member of the House of Assembly, and I want to say thank you for sharing your thoughts on the crisis rocking Plateau State. We actually hope things get to settle down there.